I'm still trying to process what you just said.
Alright, everyone, thank you all so much for sticking around and welcome back to the stream. I am Razim, and this is Ebon Sails Exalted, our first session of this campaign. So, welcome! I'm gonna let Kerr give you guys some backgrounds and read off a story he wrote to go with this. So, I will turn it over to. Well, unless you'd rather me read it.
No, we don't have to read it.
Oh, we definitely have to read it for the viewers.
No, we don't.
Okay, you're right. You have to read it.
No.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
Well then, Moriarty, would you read that story that
No,
Toshime copied
no.
over for us?
No. Damages. Niet. 9.
By the way, did anyone get that reference I made earlier?
Not at all.
Good boy, Moriarty.
Damn. I was really hoping one of you had seen It's a Wonderful Life.
I was in the play It's a Wonderful Life.
You don't remember that line?
No, I was more making a joke. Yes, I knew the line.
Okay. I'm glad someone knew the line.
Alright.
It's a really freaking creepy but iconic line.
So, shall we begin, everybody? Once more into the breach, as it were?
You're sure about this?
I am ready.
A boy asked, his sickly broken body wearing a simple emerald robe. A large open tome made of beautiful gold and shimmering shifting silver laying on his lap. No, not particularly, but we're running out of options. Neither of us have the power on our own to face the Silver Prince, and if his fleet actually becomes operational, no army in creation is going to be able to face it. His companion spoke, walking along the beach, etching symbols and arcane sigils into the sand with the beautiful gold and sapphire trident he carried. The man clad in armor that looked to be made of solid sapphire, shaped almost like a fish, though it lacked a helmet. The man's short brown hair blowing in the breeze, while his eyes showed an age that belied his youthful look of early 20. I told you we shouldn't have sent out the others, not until we knew what we were dealing with, the boy muttered, though it was more in a resigned fashion than with any real heat or bite behind it, like the two had had this conversation before. Yes, and I let you tell me you told me so, but it won't do us any good. Pride won't be back here for at least 6 months minimum, and the others will take even longer, the armored one muttered as he continued to work. So, we're going to need to outsource this if we're going to have what we need to stop the Silver Prince. And you think they'll help us? Really? Just out of the blue? The boy asked, cocking an eyebrow. The man stopped his work and looked at the boy and smiled. I'm not going to call them to us directly. I'm sending them down south to Kelra and Otoris. If they just showed up here, every sidereal will show up, not to mention the Silver Prince may notice it as well. The boy nodded his head slowly. So we act as a decoy and distraction here, keep everyone's eyes on us, and let them get their bearings. But why would they help us, even if they are exalted? Why would they care about the people here? About a threat that might not happen for years, or even decades? The older speaker paused for a moment, silent as his eyes looked at the etched symbols before he gave a small nod and stepped into the circle.
Joke.
Because if they inherited the exaltations of my friends, then there is no way they will be able to stand by and watch people in suffering, in pain, or enslaved. As he spoke, he took a slow, focused breath. Before, on his forehead, a beautiful circle of gold ignited, and behind him, a roaring phoenix of gold and ruby flames erupted into being, taking to the air above him, large enough to be seen for miles around. The circle around him began to shine as well, the sigils looking sharper and more clear as the golden light began to flow into them. The boy lifted a hand, a pair of crossed emerald sabers forming on his forehead, a great lion that looked carved from jade forming behind him, regal and imperious. "Do it! I'm making the connection now," the boy called out. "Hear me, my friends, my companions. Though our time has passed and our lives once ended, we live again, new lives, new bodies. Each of you carry the same spark of the divine, of hope for our world and its people. Once, in a time long past, we swore an oath to meet again, to stand as a bulwark for creation against all of its foes, both from within and without. And now I call upon you to fulfill your oaths, to stand as guardians once more for our fallen world. Come, my dear comrades, my friends, my family. I call you forth across creation to help me save these people one last time." The ring of light suddenly erupted into a blazing white light that shot towards the sky. And for a moment, the sky seemed to darken. The sun, the moon, and the stars all hanging there in the sky. Before the sight vanished and the pillar of light vanished. The boy watched, panting, before lowering his hand. "It's done." Why, thank you, thank you. Kerr? Kerr, are you there?
Hi.
Tokeme says ha ha.
I love how it says Tokame. It makes him sound like he's a weed.
Anyways. You okay, Kerr?
I will remember this.
So for the rest of you, he loves it when you read off his stories. It is wonderful. He loves it.
Oh, can I do it?
Yeah, I mean, by all means, go ahead.
I will kill you, Moriarty.
You're sure about this? A boy asked. A sickly brown body wearing a simple emerald robe. A large open tome made of beautiful gold. with
God,
shimmering
really? Not
tipping
again, you guys. We
silver
need to get
laying on his
started. It's
lap.
already 10:30.
No, not particularly.
Please?
But we're running out of options. Neither of us have the power on our
Okay.
own to face the
We'll,
Silver Prince.
we'll go
God,
ahead and
really, you
get
guys?
started.
Really?
Literally Kerr right now. Did you literally just deafen him, Kerr?
No, I took
was
off my
muted.
headphones.
Oh,
I got muted. Somebody
muted him.
It was me.
Oshime, you get a cookie.
The viewers needed to hear that wonderful story you wrote.
Oshime gets a cookie.
And Kerr didn't even like my reading of it.
I had my headphones off because I get very self-conscious about it, and it causes me a lot of anxiety.
He hated it.
Anxiety, smanxiety.
Why is Mostein yelling hot in chat?
He's yelling hoot.
Oh! Oh! I thought he was like catcalling us.
Alright,
Which is
I am
odd
ready
for
to
now.
get started though when everyone else is.
I've been ready for a while.
much anger to take out upon upon two of you.
Proceed.
All right.
Rocks fall and everyone dies.
No, if I tried that here, it would be rocks fall. You guys parry them.
Parry this, you filthy casual.
I am going to fucking yeet an entire mountain at you.
I'm going
Only
to
a
shoot it with
mountain?
the sun.
Only one? You're thinking a little small here.
The idea that I said to you.
Alright, let me... Oh yeah, can I steal the moon?
Um.
It's possible in Exalted.
Yes, you could. I could actually think of the way to do it.
Go to
And,
Yushan, steal Luna, bring her to reality.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I
Alright.
mean, you're only dealing with one of the most powerful goddesses in all of creation.
Mission
And,
objective updated.
At least it's not the Unconquered Sun.
I mean, he'd probably be easier. You could probably just ask him and he would do it if he thought it was nice.
Mission objective updated.
All right. Let's go.
Or to quote XCOM, we have a new mission objective.
Welcome, one and all. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
To
Welcome
the
back.
internet. Have a look around.
Rider kick.
Anything that brain of yours can think of can be found.
Welcome back to creation. It is a world very much unlike your own. A place of myth and might and magic. A place where gods walk among mortals, where mortals struggle day in and day out to survive against the many terrors of the Rakshasa, the Fey folk who wander the borders of creation. The undead who prowl the darkest places of the world. Demons that are sometimes called into our world or slip through the cracks into it, ready to prey on those they wish to take revenge on. And more. But here stands heroes. Heroes ready to stand against the darkness, to stand against these threats. The Exalted, chosen of the gods and empowered with a faction of their divine might, they have become greater than what they once were. They have grown to be the gods' equals, or even in some ways to surpass them. And now, when danger threatens creation once more, it is up to these Exalted to come together, these chosen, to save the world. And now, it's time to find out if they can or not. But that's for the future. And so we begin on a small island to the west.
I would just like to point out that despite your threats, you just said that there is going to be a future for us, so yay, we live!
We'll see if you do or not. Creation is divided into 4 directions. The Oceanic West, inhabited by archipelagos and chains of islands. There are hundreds of small islands supporting 2 or 3 villages at most, while some are massive, bustling metropolises with massive cities built on them. The North, the cold Arctic North, where barbarians rage, gods and the dead walk the cold, snowy mountains. Or you could go south to the desert, the burning sands, where riches can be found among these ruins and among the volcanoes I mean, someone decided to build a city on the side of an active volcano. What could possibly go wrong there? Or you have the most populous direction, the most lived in direction, the east. A land of forest, jungle, and woods, where people live among the trees, among nature. Thousands of tiny nations call that land home. But of course, you also have the center of creation, the Blessed Isle, land of the Dragon Bloods, chosen of Gaia, wielders and manipulators of the elements, ruled over by the Empress, her redness herself, the Scarlet Empress. Yes, I kid you not, those who listen to my tale, the Empress is called her redness. But our adventures do not happen there. Our adventure is to the west, on one small island, down towards the south. It's so small, it's one of those islands that's not even featured upon the maps. It is only a home of about 4 villages of people living their days away from everything else. So small that not even the Blessed Isle truly takes notice of them. And that is where our tale begins. As 4 trails of light rocket from across creation onto this island, and in a flash of light take form as individuals appear, standing on a beautiful beach, lapping waves slowly washing over their feet. Nevis John Kwako, I believe is how you say your name.
Close enough.
Okay.
It's actually Yoon.
And Cyril. All 4 of you appear upon a beach. One moment, you were living your lives normally. You were having just another day. And the next, you heard words. You heard someone calling for you, and you felt something within your soul. Something pulling at your very soul, that you knew this person, and that what he was saying was a promise that resonated within the very core of your being, that it needed to be followed, that it needed to be fulfilled, that someone was calling for help, and that you needed to answer that call. And behind you, Nevis, stands around 1,000 very confused men, each clad in armor, wielding glaives. And also each of them is not fully human. Each of them carries the marks of what look like beasts, traits of animals. And so you 4 find yourselves standing before one another. One moment you had been living your normal lives. The next, here you are. Yet, you do feel something. As you look at each other, you can feel that same sort of tug towards each other as well. That these people are trustworthy. That these people are important. You don't know how. You don't know why, but you can feel it in your very soul that these people
Our anathema.
bonk, bad boy, are important. And so we begin.
Okay. I'm gonna start off by killing the robot. Can never trust a robot.
I don't think there's a robot here.
The one who shall become robot.
But yes, what do you guys do as you suddenly find yourselves on this beach facing each other? And for three of you, one of them seems to have an army of non-human creatures standing at attention and kind of also looking around very confused.
Observation. Despite the strange circumstances by which we are all standing here, I do not detect hostilities, which is strange, given the circumstances of many armed units present.
I'd be more than happy to change that unless someone can explain why I'm here.
You're
For
here
that
the
matter,
same
where
reason we
here
all are
even
here.
is. So which one of
And
you
you can-
brought me here?
Rest assured, I had nothing to do with and how any of us got here. I am as confused as all of you.
Response. I too am at a loss as to this information, though I can state that there was this strange calling that occurred.
Each of you did hear the voice. Basically the big speech that was given, you guys each heard that when you were coming here.
Oh, right. I know the one you're talking about.
Observation. After hearing all of you vocally speak, it appears as though none of you are the one who called us here.
Yes, I know the one that you're talking about. Hear me, my friends, my
No. By the way, as you guys were speaking, each of you don't even need to roll. This is very simple for you guys to do. You guys can hear the sound of branches break. And when you look back, there looks to be a teenager dressed in basic cloth over his chest and a very basic pair of pants, almost like a loincloth.
Just at the sound of that, Cyril's going to whip around with his rifle pointed in that direction.
This guy looks like this guy looks like he's like 15 or 16 years old. You see he has a few coconuts in his arms,
Hey, Kerr,
and yes.
did you not hear what just came through?
The blur.
Jaffer White.
Perfect!
There, that better for you?
Oh, darlings! What marvelous entrances you made! Oh, I simply cannot resist a fashionable entrance like that. Oh,
Aims
you
at Domino.
Oh my darling, you certainly know how to accessorize. One moment you guys were standing here on this beach, facing this poor guy who literally was picking out what looks to be coconuts. And now there's another being walking among you. Oh, Darling, so nice to see you again. Nephis, how did you get over here, darling? This is quite far from your eastern haunts, I must say.
So is this where would Nevis know Domino at this point?
Yes,
Then
you recognize him.
question: where do I recognize? How does this version of Nevis recognize him?
You've run into him before.
Was he part? Was he the one leading the Fey army?
No, but he was, well, involved because, well, he's involved with everything. But he did not directly do any harm.
Okay, okay.
Observation. This is not
Domino,
the one who
what
has led
on
us-
earth did you do to us this time?
Darling, I did nothing. This was mortal sorcery. Also, hello, darling. Very nice fashion statement there. Maybe a little less metal, though. Also, hello, you two. So nice to meet you. I don't think I've met you before. No, I think I would remember you. I am Domino, Lord of Perfection, I must say. And, well, it is certainly great to meet your acquaintance.
Delighted to meet a member of the gentry.
Oh, and you have manners. Oh, wonders never cease, darling. Mmm, delicious. That poor mortal looks absolutely terrified out of his mind. He can't even move. Poor thing. But we have more interesting things to discuss. It's so great to see you again, Nevis, but it seems you have been summoned here. Interesting. I did not know mortal magic. Someone was naughty. Light.
You know why we're here then?
Not necessarily, darling. Your mortalness, well, it's utterly confusing to me. However, I can see traces of the spell that brought you here. And, well, being the perfect being that I am, have some inkling and understanding of your mortal sorceries and knickknacks and such. I mean, well, I am interested, of course. It appears that someone modified a summoning spell to call you here. It seems, Nevis, like your army was also pulled along with it. But it seems not all of you made it here. It appears that some of the number that were called ended up somewhere else. Most likely because of so much essence being used, it distorted the spell, and, well, some of you missed the target here.
So is that where Ferris is?
There's a possibility, yes. I cannot say for certain, but it is a distinct possibility.
So what do you know about us being here, aside from the fact that it was a unique spell?
I can give you a little bit of information, darling.
I'm
If you would
really
like.
getting tired of these sorcerers. Yes, give me information.
I do owe you for favors rendered in the past, so I suppose this will be on the house. Welcome to the island of Kelra. It is a small little place, nothing very special. It is, however, in the upper north of the island, there is a small mine. They're able to get some of the finest opals in all of creation here. And, well, since then, many of the villages here and up north, the island over, have been enslaved by mercenaries, being forced to mine and serve them. They've brought in quite a number, I must say. I believe entire mercenary company of around 20,000 have forts set up all along the western islands. Though I believe the garrison here is a paltry 200. Yes, that lad there. I believe he's a resident of Opal, the village. It's not too far away from here, maybe 45 minutes at most if you know what you're looking for. It is a somewhat delightful hunting ground. Quite interesting dreams sometimes for those who are willing.
Query. Are any of you familiar with this island?
Nevis is looking
This
around.
This island is like so small it can barely support like 3 villages of people. So it's basically not really on any maps. There's probably like hundreds of islands like this along the western sea. They're just so small that no one really pays that much attention to them. But there's still people who live on most of them. Small villages of a couple hundred people each. So like with the mercenaries, the population on this island is probably like around 1,000-ish people, is all. And that's highballing it. Yes. Is there anything else, dear Nevis, that you wish to ask me? I'd be delighted to let you know more for, well, a price, of course.
Oh, yes, I'm sure you'd love to be rid of some more of your favors that you owe me. But no.
Well, darlings, if any of you wish to make a deal or offer to me, I'm more than willing to talk business. I can be quite delightful. If you want.
I would highly recommend none of you take him up on this.
The killjoy, Nevis. Ever the killjoy. You never let me have any fun.
Response. Duly noted.
I prefer to keep my new comrades from getting themselves into danger.
We're the wrong type of people to not get in danger.
Okay, not that manner of danger, then.
The village is only around 45 minutes away from here. The lad over there could be your guide to get there. The fortress that the mercenaries are using, though, well, that is a bit of a overstatement, I suppose. It's barely a wooden fort. I would not be able to tell you the location without, well, another favor. But it's near the village. You could likely find it fairly easily if you wish to look. But it's up to you what you wish to do. I am curious what you would do for these people.
Tokeme wants you to go catch something now.
Joke.
Toshime, I said earlier that most of these aren't valid on the tabletop games.
I understand.
You must catch the coconuts.
Unfold his cloak and release Rooney to the forefront and basically tell her to sit on his shoulder for the time being. And then he would approach the little boy.
The teen is gonna look at you very, very frightened, kind of leaning against the tree, almost like he's holding the coconuts as like a shield.
Child, be not frightened.
Not afraid.
I
Be
am a
not
friend.
afraid, as his 5 other eyes open and blink at once.
Please don't hurt me. I'm just finding food. That's all.
Not to
Please.
worry, lad. There will be no harm brought to you. Now, mind telling us where we are?
This is this is the he's almost starting to hyperventilate a little bit.
Oh, come on, lad. Breathe.
Take it easy now.
What do
Why
you
not?
mean? I haven't smacked the
Overexert
kid yet,
yourself.
so I am taking it easy.
I was not talking to you.
Oh, fair.
This is the
Kerr, you are coming through very quietly.
sorry. He's just this is the
Ian would
Battery.
kind
island
of
of
lean into and kind of take one knee and try to listen to him closely.
This is the island of Kelra. There's 3 villages that live here. We mostly just take care of our own needs, and we don't really deal with tradesmen or anything unless one comes through. They don't usually come down this far south.
My name is
but-
Yu. I'm Sage of Karath. What is your name?
I'm you can just call me Wave. It's shorter.
Well,
Clearly,
Wave,
he does
it
not
is
want to give
very-
his full name.
Well, Wave, it is very fine to meet you. I am Nevis, King of Conquerors.
You lied to me, Yo-Yo.
There's
I jumped in the water and
a
immediately...
mercenary group that took over our village, and the others, they're forcing us to work in the mines. And if we don't, they're gonna kill everybody.
Oh, don't you worry about that. We'll be sure to take very good care of them. Those mercenaries will not be bothering you any longer.
Their big base isn't here though. It's I heard of some of them talking. It's up north. It's the next island over on Otoris. That's where more of them are. But they say that they're across everywhere. But one of their main bases is in Otoris. There's an old ruined city there, and they made that into a fort. I heard a couple of them talking when they got drunk.
One step at a time now. Maybe, perhaps, it would be best to start at your village, see that people are cared for.
For a minute there, I thought Nevis was going to say, "Don't worry, everything's going to be all right. Hey, your family will reincarnate fine when we take care of the problem in the mine."
Advisement. It sounds as though there is a particular pest problem in this area. I would personally advise hiring exterminators.
But we don't really have anything. We're just all we really have is what we subsist on. We don't have a lot to trade.
Don't listen. You and I are going to have words later. Whatever your name is. Wave, we will be taking care of them. They will be removed, and your people will be free.
You might be able to ask. There's a god that we worship. He says that his champion will protect us if we swear ourselves to him, but everyone's been too afraid to. But sometimes things happen. I've seen it where some of the mercenaries get hurt, or accidents happen, or sometimes they'll just disappear, especially the ones who like to hurt us or try to take advantage of people. So I think someone's doing something, but none of us really know. And if we talk about it, the mercenaries get angry.
I do not know who this god is, but I personally would not recommend trusting them.
His name is. He kind of stutters a little bit, and pauses for a second, taking a deep breath. His name is Karana. His temple is to the east of here. It's actually not that far. We still take care of it, and the mercenaries haven't tried to do anything to it. They're too afraid of attracting a god's anger.
Hypothesis. This mining that they're doing may be some sort of religious intention. Of course, that is assuming that this god is in fact real.
In creation, this is just background information for everyone. These are things you guys would know. Gods are like everywhere. It's very common to have villages who worship gods, and the gods to actually walk among the villagers or give their blessings and such. Very common.
If it's that common, I wouldn't also be surprised if people claim to be gods just to, throw their weight around.
Yeah, usually that ends badly for the person, so most people don't do that. Because when gods see that happen, they tend to smite them. And unless that person is an exalted, well, they don't tend to last very long.
I mean, hey, if there's a bandit on a remote island that probably would never be seen by a god going around claiming that he's a god with a band of mercenaries, so no one can really tell him
He would get
otherwise.
smited. He would get smited.
There's a chain of command in the spirits.
Yeah. Even in like small villages like this, most of these villages probably have a minor god. The god would probably not be very strong. Probably not very powerful at all, but they could probably smite at least one mortal if they were really pushed to it.
Or if things are upsetting the celestial courts, they have ways of contacting higher ups.
That's usually when a death squad will get sent in and deal with the problem. No, these would be stories that would be very common for you guys to tell. So you guys would all know this in character.
Extrapolation. Perhaps we are meant to be that smite.
I mean, that is a possibility. But if there is a temple to a god here, there is likely the god is probably at the temple. That would serve as his sanctum, his place of power. You just don't know what the god is of. Like, for all you know, he could be a god of flowers or water.
He's the god of crabs.
He could be the god of
Wrong
crabs.
game.
There is a god of crabs.
I'm bringing the crabs into this game, baby!
That would be terrifying. You don't want to see what an army of crabs looks like.
I already know what an army of crabs looks like. I have summoned it. Yes! Let the crabs rain!
The god of crabs is very happy this exists.
Frighten. Crab.
The god of crabs is very happy this exists. You make him very happy.
Unfortunately, that exists in the Sunday game.
But yes,
Do we want to go to the god shrine, or do we want to go straight to the source of the problem, the mine?
a lot of us haven't been able to go to the temple. They don't let us usually leave the villages unless it's to get supplies, and usually we don't have enough time to go there and give service like we're supposed to. He's probably angry with us, but please, could you intercede? You seem powerful, and you talked to that thing like it was no big deal. He's all we have.
I will absolutely go and investigate this. Men,
I
form
concur.
up. Can set up a base camp, get defenses ready, send out scouts to the various parts of the island and the villages, gather what information you can. I am going to personally go to this temple and see what is up there.
Thank you, Toshime.
Thank you so much for that donation, Toshime. You really keep this channel alive. The goal has been completed.
The soldiers nod and quickly begin to carry out your orders with very practiced precision. Like this is, they've been sent literally across creation to them. Okay, it's Tuesday. Let's get to work.
Advisement. In my personal experience, I find that when dealing with a group of ruffians, or with any creature that has more than one head, the best way to deal with such things is to cut off the head. Usually.
I can show you where the island or where the temple is. I know where it is. It's not that far from here.
I do not intend to leave heads to cut. If it is true that these worthless beings enslave others.
Speculation. Perhaps this very instance is why we have been brought here, though I would think such a situation would be beneath such a calling.
There is nothing below my notice. Wave, show me to this temple.
Oh, no, it was a dream.
He'll nod quickly and start to lead the way.
Where is Nevis's familiar, by the way?
He's there. He's there
Okay.
with you.
Ferris
Yep.
is not, though, I assume.
Yeah, Ferris is the only one who's not there.
Well, and and Murder.
But that's because they're together.
Yeah.
Boy of all things.
As you guys head off,
Damn it. Murder's getting to enjoy all the wonderful little tea and snack sandwiches, and I'm left here to fend
I will
for
go to war
myself?
for this man. This is why we have inter-party conflict. Because both of you want him as your butler.
I just heard a bark.
Wave leads you guys into the jungle. It's not that thick. It's pretty easy to move through. And he leads you to a large stone temple. It is actually surprisingly nice for being in the middle of nowhere. It's a little dusty. At the start of a few cobwebs, but otherwise, it's clear this place was pretty well maintained. The stones are painted a riot of different colors. Lots of statuary. Not very good statuary. Of different things, like you can see people and animals and such. And as you guys go into the temple, you can see it's built like almost a giant theater. A very, very nice theater.
None shall see me. Though my battle cry may give me away.
We have influence. I'm gonna let that happen. It'll be a little bit, but I'm going to make it happen. And as you guys walk here and see this stage, you guys can sense something in the air. Like something is watching you. Before a voice speaks. It has been a long time since chosen of the gods have deigned to walk in my temples.
I'm going to activate my life sign detection scan.
Yes.
For 1 mote, I scan an area out to medium range looking for target. I learn their location and distance, even if the target is behind cover. If the target is perfectly concealed, I gain 2 bonus successes on an opposed roll to detect.
Okay. It is coming from the ceiling above the stage, is where you are seeing it. It is in the shape of a very large spider. Be welcome in my halls, chosen of the gods. For what, pray tell, do I have to thank for this meeting? And as you hear that voice, you hear the clicks and clacks as what looks like a large wooden spider begins to come down on a thread so thin you almost can't see it.
Nevis is putting a hand behind Wave. I assume he went with us.
Yes, he is with you.
Okay.
The kid has bowed his head and is muttering soft prayers to him.
Nevis kind of brings the kid up and draws him in front of Nevis and is like, well, young Wave here brought us to this place, though we were summoned here by someone else. We do not know who yet. Either way, I am Nevis, King of Conquerors. And what, pray tell, is your name?
He regards the teen for a moment before nodding his head to him. A blessing upon you, my servants. I appreciate what you have done for me. It will not be forgotten. Before he looks at you, Nevis, my name is Karana, god of performance, theater, and puppetry. Once I ruled among the South. My theater stretched on as far as the eye can see, until the Dragon Bloods decided they did not like people worshiping me. They did not like that I did not sit quietly on my day of worship and wished for more, and they drove me out. And so this is one of my few refuges I still have. These villagers, my worshippers, my strength diminished, though I am not unbowed. I will have my revenge upon the Dragon Bloods eventually.
That you still had your day.
They stripped that from me and declared me heretical for not towing their line.
Query. Is this your true form?
Yes, this is.
Explanation. I noticed that your body seemed to be made of wood, and that you yourself
Rank
had
up.
been...
Hold the line. This hamlet shall
And that you-
not fall.
Yeah. And that you yourself had been suspended. Being a god of puppetry, it could have been possible that this was one of your puppets.
No, I simply embody what I am a god of. Many of us do so.
Contemplative. Why an arachnid?
Real quick. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for that raid, RF Chaos. Welcome, welcome. I am Raw Zim. We do variety gaming here on the channel. A lot of tabletop games such as Exalted Essence that we're doing right now. Earlier today, we also did World of Darkness, Werewolf. We also have a mage game, D&D, Pathfinder, and aside from the tabletop games, we also do things such as Stellaris, Terraria, Super Animal Royale, Sea of Thieves.
League of Legends.
Not very often anymore, but yes, League of Legends here and there. Kind of all sorts of different games. A lot of strategy ones especially, but RPGs and whatnot as well. So yeah, thank you so much for that raid. Don't forget to hit that follow button. Those that are here, go give some love over to the raider here, RF Chaos. And I'm going to be in the chat now. I hope you had a great stream, RF Chaos. I just don't want to interrupt the the game itself too much, so carry on.
Carry on, Moriarty.
So he was going query, why an arachnid?
Because I am a god of puppetry. Spiders can create their own strings. Not to mention, well, I am more than just what I am a god of. I enjoy plots and plans, manipulating events as I see fit, very much like a spider in their web. I thought the form appropriate. So, it is the form I wear. It is the form my worshippers know me most in.
And Kerr for insulting my family, the Dragon Bloods. Bite my tongue and take a point of limit.
Okay. Okay. Yep, that is acceptable. You can hear like his body clicking with every move as he kind of walks to the edge of the stage looking at you with 8 unblinking eyes.
Are they actual eyes or are they painted on?
They're actual eyes.
Okay.
Are they like
What
flesh
is-
eyes or more like marble eyes? I'm just
They look like glass.
okay. That's what I was kind of getting at. Okay,
Yep. They look like glass eyes up close.
they're
Are
not
they like those
actual
weird
eyes.
insect?
It's just
Well, hold on. Are they like those weird insect eyes that kind of just look glassy, or are they actual glass?
Actual glass.
Okay, interesting.
Don't worry, they're
Oh.
not opals.
I want to touch it.
What brings you to my temple, though? I see one of my worshippers has brought you here, but for what reason? What is it you seek?
well, I'm going to be very frank here. There are mercenaries that have taken over this land, and we were going to take them out, and the lad here figured or insisted that we should come see you first.
Wise, my chosen are. I have recently, in the last, it's been about a year and a half now, I have exalted one of my own to be my champion. He, even as we speak now, has been fermenting discontent and bringing my followers together to cast out these oppressors and tools of the dragon blood. If you
And
wish to offer
Toshime is
your
going
aid,
to limit break before we even finish this session. Okay.
if you wish to offer your assistance to him, I would very much not be opposed. He could very well likely use at least a little bit of assistance.
It would be my honor to offer assistance.
Yes, from what I understand, these slave drivers have invited a quick death upon themselves.
Query. If you have been able to create your own exaltation, then what has caused any form of delay?
I and my chosen do not see eye to eyes. He, well, does not trust me. He resists me at every turn. No matter what I might offer him, he turns it down. He does not accept the boons I wish to give him. Merely the trinkets that were already part of this temple. But he wishes to free these people in his own way, as he says, without me. Apparently, to him, they would only be trading one slave master for another. The poor, poor child. Quite confused, but it just makes me want him more.
Conjecture. It may be possible that someone given such an exaltation, especially from such a lowly state of life, may have let that power go to their head.
It's very possible. For all I know, my chosen has lost control of himself and will cause far more harm than good, and perhaps needs to be put down for the good of the island. I would prefer such a fate to not fall upon him, but I can always choose another if such a fate does happen.
Confirmation. I am sure we will keep such a thing in mind when moving forward. In fact, I'm quite certain we will be speaking with him soon and making our own conclusions based on this exchange.
You will find him in Opal Den, the largest of the villages here on this island. My follower here can take you there, and it should not be difficult for you to arrive with a guide. But before you go, is there anything perhaps I can offer you? Any needs that could be met?
I do wish to make sure that these people are free after we have dealt with these mercenaries. While paying respect to one such as yourself is proper, being slaves is not.
Oh, but of course, I understand. And it is forbidden in the celestial hierarchy for gods to rule over the villages and towns of their worshippers. I seek merely to offer advice from my millennia of life to ensure that my followers make the correct decisions in their lives, to ensure that they can be healthy, grow strong, and enjoy their life.
Yoon just quickly nods at Nevis, like he approves at his sentiment.
I'm going to look at the spider and try to think of why this one got stricken from the actual records.
Make an
Sagacity,
intelligence plus occult roll. Or sagacity plus
finesse.
yeah, you can make that if you'd like. That's fine. I'm so used to occults.
It's something.
So what you would know about him, from your records is he did not toe the line for in the South, and his followers actively opposed the Dragonbloods, trying to keep their towns and such free from being controlled by Dragonblood governors and such. They wanted to have their freedom to be able to do as they wished and to create the art and performances that they thought they wanted to make. They were not happy that they were being cut back to just like one day a year. And he did not think that was fair to either himself or other gods, so opposed it. And his followers followed that, which is why he was purged that way.
Okay. I'll keep my eye on him.
Mostly, it seems like he basically did not toe the party line, and the Dragonbloods got rid of him because he actively talked out against them. Is there anything else any of you wants to do with this god? Or would you like to head out and start heading towards the village?
I just don't know what else to do with him right now, so...
Star metal sounds good.
No. But I mean, I can't really stop if you wanted to try.
but I
Wait,
don't
what did
have
you
What
say?
does he mean by that?
turning him into a magical material.
Yeah, so the way you get star metal in Exalted is by killing a god. And their bodies fall from the sky, from heaven, and become star metal, which is what the Sidereals use most often in their artifacts. Koshime's character just really doesn't like him.
I don't know. I kind of like the idea of having magical metal to make myself an artifact with.
Star metal warps fate.
Yep.
But he's on neutral ground right now. And we are in his sanctum. Not a good spot for it.
Mm-hmm.
Off to the mine, everyone.
Yes, let's go.
As you guys
Affirmative.
head out. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I said affirmative.
As you guys head out, each of you hear a voice in your heads. Have at thee, fiends! You dare to invade the sanctity of our island! I will smite you, just as I will smite those dastardly pirates that enslave these holy people here. Prepare yourselves for a quick and painful death at my claws.
Nevis just
You
yawns.
hear this loud, bombastic voice in your heads. Each of you do.
I'm sorry.
Do not attempt to hide yourself. I know, you fiend. I know that you will destroy these people, and I shall not allow it.
I activate my life sign detection.
I am Nevis, king of conquerors, and I hide from no one. Come out here if you feel so brave, and face my spear.
Cyril,
Yep.
you see a crab. You see a little crab. Nevis, in your head, you hear a voice go, "Ha! Fiend, your eyesight already betrays you, for I stand before you in all of my regal glory, and you can't even see me. You call yourself the king of conquerors?
Steel
Ha!
yourself.
You are
We are
nothing but the
building an
king of
army.
little animals. Now, prepare yourself to fall to my claws."
Observation. My life sign detection scan only detects this crab. And he moves to pick up the crab.
Nevis, when you hear that voice in your head, you hear click, 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 click of claws.
I hold the crab like hamburger.
When you pick up the crab, the claw starts snapping around. Unhand me, fiend! You dare to touch me with your unclean hands? I am the great god of all crabs, Crabby!
This crabby about to become a Krabby Patty.
Bow down and worship me, mortals, and beg my forgiveness, and maybe I shall take pity upon you.
Curiosity. This crab seems to have sentience.
I am a god. I walk among the highest of the high.
You seem misguided somehow.
While how could I not look upon the form of my beings? For I am their god. I care for the billions of crabs throughout all of creation.
Query: why do you present such hostilities to us when we have no qualms with any crab?
He has a point. We haven't actually threatened anyone. Why are you so aggressive?
These villagers give great reverence to crabs. And to me. I even have a small shrine. His voice actually changes when he says that. It goes from this big bombastic to like over the moon excited. It's like, I even have a little shrine. Of course I will face you, foul beings, and I will protect my followers from both you and those filthy enslaving pirates that have come ashore.
I
We're here
have
to help the
no
villagers.
intention of harming the villagers.
My name is Yoon, the Chainbreaker. I am the Sage of Karath, destroyer of tyrants. I have no intention of enslaving anyone, and anyone who dares to enslave anyone else will suffer my wrath.
It's gonna be really awkward when you go to places where slavery is legal.
The limit break.
It's gonna
But
be
anyway,
what?
that's going to be very awkward when you go to places where slavery is completely legal, because it's legal in like almost everywhere in creation.
Oh, Nevis will be stopping that.
But the little crabby just snaps his claws. How do I know you are not trying to be fiendish with your devilry and tricks? I will not fall for such things, for I am the greatest of champions.
Assurance: if we wanted to fight you and cause harm, we would very much have done so by now.
Ah, but my might terrifies you. I can see you already. You are shaking, quivering at my might.
As he is going on about this, Nevis is just going to basically like golf slap it with his the flat of his spear blade.
I just want to say, when he says that, I just imagine everyone's just trying to resist laughing, and he's taking that as shakes of terror and fear, and you guys are just like, I am trying so hard not to laugh at this right now.
Can I do something before you try that?
You might be able to. Nevis is very fast.
He's currently being held like a hamburger right now.
Okay.
Oh, I
I'll
know.
activate
It's
second.
going to be slapped out of his hands.
I'm going to be activating second chance approach.
Mm-hmm.
Commit 1 mote for the duration of the scene. Reduce the difficulty of social actions against characters with a negative intimacy towards the Exalt or her by 2. Character also doubles 9 on attempts to instill positive intimacies towards the Exalt or her while the charm is active.
Okay. You do that as he gets whacked onto the ground and just kind of whimpers a little bit. You may now make your attempt, Toshime.
For the record,
And that
it was not enough to cause, lasting harm. It's more to
I know.
put a point.
I figure it was a very gentle tap. And he's actually whimpering at that.
Duke.
we are here to help get these islanders out from control of the pirates. I think my anima banner will prove to you that we are not aligned with them.
Make your roll.
As a solar.
Wostein, I don't think the crab took any actual damage with that.
No, Crab-kun did not take any damage.
Exclamation. That was incredibly rude, Nevis, King of Conquerors.
Yes, and him insisting on what my actions are instead of what they actually are is also very rude. As Nevis
Well,
is
he
kneeling
was.
down next to the crab. I can see that your spirit is strong, if your form is not as powerful. I assure you we are here to help these villagers and free them from slavery.
Assessment. It may be that he had heard about the other mercenaries and individuals who had been causing the villagers harm, and that he himself wished to go on a noble quest to defeat them. Due to our rather sudden appearance and his not recognizing us as one of the villagers, he likely thought us one of the brigands.
He kind of relaxes, and you see he's almost actually starting to cry.
Come with me, and together we can put an end to these slavers and drive them out.
Stimberries?
I just, I was trying so hard to act strong and be powerful, and I was trying to put up a good front, and I'm I'm okay. My name's not really crappy. It's Krabiris. I'm yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What? I'm not laughing in character, but holy shit, like, what? My name's not Krabby, it's Krabiris. It's like, it's the equivalent of saying my name's not Frank, it's Franklin. Like,
Yep.
what? Like, goddamn, like, fucking dumbass.
I am the god of soft-shelled crabs that live in this region. I have a couple of shrines. The people on this island and a little bit farther up north worship me. They sometimes give me little tributes. They're really nice. They give me sometimes like sparkly rocks. And even some fish sometimes when the hauls are good. And I can't do much, but I try to give them blessings and good harvests so they can grow lots of crab. And they still give me worship even now, and I wanted to help them. And well, I thought, well, I saw like how the Unconquered Sun talks, or how some of the bigger like war gods talk. So I thought, well, maybe if I can act like them, I can scare these pirates and slavers away from my people.
Sometimes you do need to carry a big stick while also speaking. But I believe that you can be of great use in saving these people. Come,
As you say
join
that,
me.
he walks over and picks up a stick. I don't know what I can really do with this, though. It's just a stick.
It's more of a saying.
It is a metaphor.
Nevis is going to put his hand down for the crab. Come, join me together. You can help us all drive out these mercenaries.
Just like nerd pull up.
Waddle up. He is now sitting on your shoulder, Nevis.
Perfect. On the other side from Marticus.
Yes.
Assessment. This is a very good god.
I feel that's reasonable.
I agree, and his spirit is strong. I am
I
certain that
try.
his blessing will bring much fortune to our fight against these fiends.
I well, I mean, I can't really do much, but I can show you something. There's something I keep hidden. When you guys are ready to leave the island, I can show it to you as thanks for helping free my people.
We're
I
meeting
mean,
all the multi-legged gods.
I mean, if you're sure it is no bother, I'm
No,
sure.
you're helping my people, and well, I mean, I can't really do much. Um, I'm just a little crab, as he kind of clicks his claws. But I can pinch him, and I can do my best. And these people deserve it. They worship me, and they like me, and they leave me little things. So I want to do things for them too.
That is all we really ask, that you do your very best. Be the best crab god that you can be.
If we're not careful, we're going to make Tamatoa.
All you need to do is believe in me that believes in you.
I believe that you believe that I believe that we believe that we're going to do great.
Right.
You have
Well,
your
thank
own
you.
variety of strength, and it is one that can be nurtured and grown.
As he points a little claw. All right, we need to go that way. That's how we'll get to the village.
First, we will be returning to my soldiers. They've sent out scouts who will give me a situation, will relay the situation to us, and then we will go to the village.
Situation log amended.
Okay. Situation log updated.
We have a new objective, Commander.
So you guys head back to the beach then?
Yes.
As you guys get there, there's a large camp that has been made. Lots of tents, everything sort of set up. And our little crab begins to click his claws quickly. It's like, oh, you guys are actually really near it. Wow. Uh, well, if you want, I can get you the thing for you. I'd be happy to. You don't have to use it right now since you want to go to the village, but well, you have so many people, it might make things a little bit easier.
Well, absolutely. Lead the way.
He's going to point. You want to head over into the water here. You don't want to go all the way in. Just step in so like your feet are in the water. I need you to do that.
Nevis will do so. And then
Zero
he gets
steps into
grabbed by
water.
the Kraken.
Fire cannons!
As you do that, he begins to click his claws, slowly swinging them back and forth. And
time?
as he does,
Is it time? Is it time?
it is not time for that.
Oh.
It is not time for that yet.
Fine.
Squirtle! Squirtle, Squirtle.
As he does this, though, the water before you seems to begin to vibrate and shake. And you see, like, the whole water out to begin to distort and warp before a truly massive ship comes out of the sea and surfaces. Its hull is a beautiful mix of shining gold, silver, and what looks to be like an almost rainbow-like metal that's woven throughout everything. And this ship is massive. Like, we're talking 500 or 600 feet at least, up and down. This is a very, very big ship that just surfaced here.
Well, now this is definitely going to be a very fine boon. As I said, your blessing would be invaluable.
This was left in my care a long time ago. And, well, I think it's time I return it.
Well, your blessing is appreciated. And Nevis is going to turn around to his soldiers and get a few of them to go aboard and check all the stores and everything and give a report on the, the status of the ship.
He's going to wave his claw a little bit, and tiny little marks appear on each person's hand as he does so. There you go. They should be able to get into the ship and access some of the systems now. I think he's still operational in there.
He?
Yeah, the ship's AI core.
Now the question is, who wants to attune to the ship?
Nevis is going aboard right away.
That's not what I meant.
As you head aboard, lights begin coming on when you go below deck. The top of the deck, there's a ramp that leads up onto it that automatically lowers down when you get close. And it's beautiful. Like, it doesn't seem like there's any sails, though. It seems entirely powered by some other means. There are a couple of doorways. There are a couple of doorways that look like they can seal themselves, and one of them slides open when you approach to allow you in. And I'm guessing the rest of the party follow along.
Yep.
Affirmative.
When you guys go into the ship, glowing lamps of essence begin to ignite, lighting the hallways and passageways. And you can see there are signs directing, like kitchens, dormitories, the bridge to control the ship. Apparently, the ship isn't controlled from above, it's inside. There are workout areas, practice areas, training rings. There is an actual workshop for building things here. Farms. There's actually areas for farms and growing food and keeping like cattle and such. And as you're kind of like looking at the signs, just kind of trying to get your bearings, you hear a voice. Greetings. It has been quite some time since I have had anyone aboard.
My goodness, will the wonders never cease?
Greeting. It has been some time since I have spoken with an individual who may be considered inanimate.
Indeed, chosen of a Tochthon. I am RD. I am the AI core for this ship.
Greetings, RD. I am Nevis, King of Conquerors. And it seems that this ship is being gifted to us. I mean, to be fair, Jaffer, he was not involved in that campaign much, so I don't think Kerr really knows Ku.
The really pretty ones.
Query.
The Bastion of Creation stands ready, as always. It is nice to have the captain aboard again.
Query. Are you an individual of a Tochathon yourself?
No, I am merely the AI core of this place, though I am aware of a Tochthon, of course.
And who precisely is the captain, then?
Why, all of you, of course.
By Craberius, of course.
Craberius is simply was the guardian and a very old and dear friend.
Query. How long have you been waiting for this so-called captain?
Calculating. Over 1,256 years currently.
My, that's a long time.
Indeed. Since the fall of the First Age, as I believe the records call it now.
Appeasement. I myself understand such a long period of waiting.
So, where are my manners? I can sense other individuals preparing to come aboard. The reality engine is active and currently functioning at full capacity. I will release drones in order to ensure that all rooms are prepared. And there should be rooms enough for everyone here.
While I appreciate there are rooms for all of us, there are approximately 1,000 more individuals that will be joining us.
That is no problem. My ship is designed to hold all of creation if necessary.
What?
This is the first stage airship.
Actually, it's actually just a ship. It's not an airship.
Okay.
Oh, so we'll
I
have
just
to get it
imagine Nevis.
upgraded for that.
I imagine Nevis just actually doing that. What, though, in character?
Nevis would not do that in character. His reaction is more suspicious, kind of.
Observation. While this entire ship can theoretically hold all of reality, reality itself is holding this ship. Conclusion. I suspect a paradox.
No,
Reality engines.
You misunderstand. When I speak of creation, I speak of its people. My captains were always very, very particular upon this conversation that creation is not the place, that it is not the mountains and the seas and the villages, but it's people that are what this world is. That without its people, creation loses its meaning. And so creation is its people. Thus, when I was created, their dream of creating the bastion of creation, a refuge for all people to go to in times of turmoil and trouble.
But who are considered these people?
Anyone who needs help, according to my former captains. They did not judge. They simply sought to save as many lives as they could, however they could.
Duke.
But that time has passed. I have been waiting since I have delivered the last group of passengers here, until it would be my time again, until I would be called on.
So this is an arc of sorts.
I am not just an arc. I am ready to stand at the front lines if necessary to defend creation. Should it be necessary. I will be proud to carry you wherever you need to go across the seas of this world.
I see. We do have more than just the seas, but we can address that later. I am more than happy to have you, your assistance in our travels and more. However, right now, there is a village that needs to be saved. So, alas, I must bid you adieu, and we will return.
Indeed,
Question.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
What is your name?
RD.
There you go. I missed that, sorry. My ADD, kinda.
You're good.
No worries.
I will begin preparations to receive passengers. I shall ensure everything is ready for your arrival of your forces and any others that you wish to bring along. I shall ensure my systems are at optimal capacity, and everything shall be taken care of, captains.
Very good. I look forward to exploring this vessel in more detail later.
Of course, you may simply ask to call my name, and I will be prepared to offer whatever assistance that I can.
How is that spelled?
RD.
Capital
Okay.
R, capital D. And are we ready to head to the northern island?
No, we gotta save this island first.
He meant the village, I think.
The captains of the pirate clan are in the northern island, as we found out.
Yes. But this village does have a bastion of them, around 150, 200 people. So you're going to probably need to clear it out as well.
Aren't we going to the mine?
Advisement. We probably need to speak with that other exaltation first.
That's true. There is an exalt in the village here, at where the mine is.
There's a lot to do here before we leave.
Let's head to the village then.
Yeah, you guys ended up going to the back to the sea first, so it's like, oh well, he would show you this.
Well, Nevis went back in order to gather, because he sent out his scouts to get a lay of the land and such.
And so, as you guys head out, is there anything you guys want to do before you head to the village?
I literally just said.
His scout reports.
Yeah.
I know, but I was asking anyone else too, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I was just double checking so I can do everyone together.
That would be the main thing right now.
Your scouts will report back.
Wake up. Hold the line. This hamlet shall not fall.
Raid!
DJ Cyber, thank you very much for that raid, and welcome everybody. This is our first session of a new campaign, Ebon Sails Exalted. So do settle in and enjoy. I hope your stream went well, DJ Cyber.
Okay. So your peoples are able to make the roll without any problem. They are able to get the location of the villages that are here on this island, as well as over on the north side of the island. You guys are currently on the south side. It looks like there's about 3 ships docked there. They aren't that big of vessels. 2 of them seem more like battleships, while the third looks to be a merchant vessel. There is near them, on a small dock, there is a large fort built. Nothing really special. It's a large wooden fort, and about 5 miles west of there is the village. The actual village itself. It has some gates around it, a few wooden walls, and it looks like it has a dock built into it as well. And it seems like the mine is actually in the town. Like the town was built around the mine. The other 2 villages are smaller than the northern one. They have basic wooden defenses, gate and basic wooden fence to try to keep out like animals and predators. Otherwise, they seem very not primitive, but very low tech, very just subsistence farming, hunting and gathering, and basically using the natural resources to make what they can. There's very little in the way of like luxuries and such here.
Oh, they're keeping out predators. Sorry, Nevis, you can't come in.
Wow. Wow, did you just call Nevis a predator? Wow. Yikes.
I mean, he is.
Hashtag cancel Nevis.
He's top of the food chain.
So what's the plan? Are we just going to go knock and say Nevis is here? Give up now? Give him a chance?
I believe that the best course of action... I do wish to check in with the villagers first. However, we do not really want them escaping across the sea. RD here in the Bastion may come in handy already. If we were to take it around the island, it sounds like RD may be able to handle things against those ships on the other side, keep them from leaving the island, and yes, we will give them a chance.
We could do the simpler thing and disable the ships right now.
Statement. When it comes to such situations, I can assure you that I have the facilities necessary to scuttle almost any vessel.
That is definitely a distinct possibility. However, I personally would rather turn these over to the villagers. The vessels may not be in great shape, but I would prefer to leave them with something in case others come after we leave.
Yeah, the only other vessels there are very small, like fishing boats or canoe style boats. Very simple. Basically, you just go out a few miles out at most and do fishing and then come back. The other three vessels, the two battleships and the merchant vessel, are built for like going on the high seas for months.
If you wish to maneuver individually from RD, I may approve a solution. There's a Cirrus skiff I can summon.
Hey, Kerr.
Yes.
Does my artifact weapon have, like, limitation settings on it?
What are you thinking? What do you want to do?
If, like, I'm basically asking if I shoot someone and have the intention to shoot that person, and if I miss, not destroy, like, you know, an entire building that might have been behind them.
I mean, you could try to stunt that, yes.
Okay. That's basically what I'm asking. Is I like, given that my gun is apparently the power of a star, I just want star bullets. I don't want every shot to be basically firing off a mini nuke launcher.
Describe.
You basically are a mini nuke launcher.
But what if I want that in a more precise
Then you stunt. You
Yes.
describe how you're going to keep it less essence of a firing shot.
Yes. Otherwise, yes, you are basically firing the equivalent of a small sun at somebody. Someone is about to have a very bad day.
I'm gonna put a compressor on the end of the barrel.
Or you just tap at the few keys, change the settings, narrow the beam, and fire a small razor sharp beam of sunlight, basically.
Just like a thread.
Or you do the strongman opinion and go and put the cannon above their head.
Watch what happens. Anyway.
But that doesn't have the same finesse.
But yes. Once they give their reports, they are ready for their orders from you. For what you want them to do.
Were there any of the mercenaries in the village at the time that they could find?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Most of them seem to be in the fort, but there were some among the village.
I would say... I mean, we vastly outnumber these people. These mercenaries on this island.
Oh, yes.
I would personally say split up, because we would still outnumber them, and I'm fairly certain my troops have better training anyways.
Very likely. You're not sure, like, this far out. They probably sent the chafe down to these types of areas, because this is like the middle of no shit nowhere. There's no way like the big important people are here.
So we will go.
Pirates, give up. We're outnumbered. We feel sorry for you.
Not inaccurate. Nevis, I think the best course of action. Half the army goes to the village, secures it. Perhaps we split up as well, and then the other half goes to the fort with the ship and keeps them from leaving.
Okay, so guess what this is triggering, everybody?
What?
Combat?
This is going to be a warfare venture.
Nevis is good at those.
All right, everyone. Here is what we're going to do. So, first, we are going to be triggering the venture. And one of the things you guys get here is we are going to be able to set up a dramatic scene. Each of you each of you but Nevis get one dramatic scene. What this is each of you guys get to try to do something. Your choice. You guys get to decide what you want to do to assist the war effort. Do you want to try to steal battle plans? Would you like to try to assassinate a leader? Would you like to set up like barriers or protection in an area? Like literally the sky is the limit. Do not just take what I am telling you as what you can do. You can do anything you want to try to have an effect on the war effort here.
Anything
to assist Nevis when this happens.
I approach the exaltation.
You don't know where he is yet.
I'm going to find him.
Okay.
I would like to personally iterate that Cyril does have life sign detection scan and relentless tracking protocol.
You would need to make a stealth roll for that.
I have a stealth excellency.
Mostly because you'd have to sneak into the village to find him without being seen by the mercenaries.
So I have a stealth excellency for that.
Okay.
Outside of combat, this can be used to boost passive values, add that ability as dice bonus to applicable roll.
While you guys are figuring this out, I'm going to be back in a few minutes.
Okay. So basically what this does is you get to add 5 dice. What's your stealth, actually?
What?
What is your stealth?
My stealth is 4?
You get to add 4 dice.
Okay.
And then you get to roll how are you going to go about this? Finesse, force, or fortitude?
Definitely finesse.
Okay, so how are you doing it?
So, upon knowing that there is an exaltation in town, I'm going to, of course, make my way into said town with these wooden barriers. It shouldn't be hard to either find or create a gap in the area. And then I'm basically just going to simply go around via the back alleys and other various places, and I'm going to ask around the various villagers and whatnot about this exaltation who's supposedly protecting them from the pirates, assuring them that I am, in fact, an ally, and am here to assist him.
Give me a finesse plus stealth roll.
All right. With the bonus, that's going to be 12 dice.
And you also get a 2 stunt dice that you can use anytime you want for your dramatic scene. Because you will have more dice rolls, so you don't have to use them now if you don't want to. But you can stack multiple sets. You just can
Is
only
this-
use one per roll.
7 success, or does my excellency adjust that?
7 success. It will always usually say it otherwise in the
1,
actual
2,
charm.
3. So it's at least 3. Only 3.
That's fine. That succeeds. You are able to go about this without any problems, able to get into the village and begin to move around. Make a brain work, please. There you are. All right, so we are going to want a presence plus one of your stats for this. This is going to be a presence roll.
Okay. Probably still finesse, I assume.
If you're trying to be gentle about it, yes.
Yes. He is not going to be forceful.
Okay.
Though he
then
may
yes.
be a little menacing.
You may make your presence plus finesse roll.
Yeet. This looks like a good roll. It looked like a good roll. Looks like that's only 2 successes.
That's enough for this. The people are a little bit leery, a little bit worried, especially when they see you. They've never seen a being like you before, but when you describe their god and what he has sent you to do to help them, they do give you the information you need. And before long, a figure meets up with you. And he looks to be about 18, 19 years old. He's wearing a cloak. The hood is pulled up over his face, so you can't really see it. Pretty basic clothing. He's actually wearing actual clothing, though, unlike the rest of the villagers. Black. Shirt and longer pants. Like something like a actual person from an actual like city would wear.
What are the rest of the people wearing?
More like loincloths and very, very basic cloth shirts at most. A lot of them are also going shirtless too, dependingly. They very much wear little around here. And as he was walking towards you, you can see his shadow is kind of moving a little bit on its own. Like you can see like shapes and such in his shadow if you look closely with your vision. So you wanted to talk to me, eh? I hear you've been talking about wanting to take on the mercenaries that are causing trouble.
Analysis. I expect you to be the exaltation that your god had told me about.
That's me. Yep.
Query. Why do you have such a strange relationship with the one who gave you your exaltation?
Because he's a manipulative asshole, is what he is. Once he gets his strings on you, he never lets go. And he'll manipulate and use you however he sees fit.
Hmm. Contemplative. How did you come to such a conclusion?
Because I have some of his essence in me. I know what he is. And what he wants me to be.
Request. Could you further extrapolate on that idea? Perhaps it would allow me to make my own conclusions.
He wants me to be cold, heartless, and ruthless. Willing to do whatever it takes to get his revenge for him. And I don't want to be that. I like putting on shows. I like performing. I like bringing joy. I won't shy away from a fight. I've killed people before. But I don't want to become a monster who doesn't care about killing people. All he cares about is revenge, and it'll destroy him one day.
Query. Have you discussed such things with your god yourself?
Oh, repeatedly. As he says, he just wants me more every time because he doesn't get what he wants, and that very rarely happens. He's obsessed with me because of that.
Conclusion. It appears as though you both have valid objectives.
Why do you think I haven't killed him?
Agreement. You seem surprisingly noble based on the description that was given.
To be fair, for all you know, I could be manipulating you to get what I want.
Is there like a insight roll or something I can do to like gauge the
Yes, there is actually. That would be a awareness roll.
awareness? I think I had my awareness decent. Yeah, my awareness was kind of okay. What attribute would I roll with that?
How are you trying to see?
I'm basically like judging the sound of his voice.
Finesse.
I'm looking for tells.
Finesse.
Okay. It's at least 4 successes. 4 successes.
As far as you can tell, looking at him, does seem like he is trying to manipulate you a little bit. Sort of just nudge you just a tiny bit towards more going with like his way of ideas and thinking, but it doesn't seem like he's like openly trying to do it, if that makes sense. This more seems like this is just like natural and he doesn't even realize he's doing it necessarily.
Speculation. Your very nature, as an exalted of said god of manipulation, does lend you to be one to try to manipulate for your own cause. However, any form of persuasion or even argumentation for one's cause could also be seen as some form or another of manipulation. Conclusion. If you are manipulating me, your biological interactions seem to indicate to me that you are not intending to, and that your intentions so far have been truthful.
Do our best.
So, sorry, what?
I do my best to try to be, at least people I like. So, you're actually thinking of taking on the pirates?
Answer. Correct. We ourselves have seen the status that has been applied to these individual citizens. I myself have gone ahead and I have mentally indicated them as vermin.
He knows. They're worse than that. I'm willing to help. I've been more trying to get people to rise up against them. Because if they just stand around and not do anything to save themselves, well, what's to stop the next person from coming in and exploiting them like this? I've been trying to get them to realize that they need to stand up and fight. But might be time to finally get this boot off their neck. I can help you with the villagers and get them to side with you, as well as unleash my own army on them.
Advisement. For an individual to take place in risky activity, there must be an semblance of hope.
That's what I've been doing. Keeping hope alive. When do you want to do this? I'll have them ready.
Recommendation. You should come with me and speak to our military leader. He is likely coordinating his efforts as we speak. Speaking with him would be best to coordinate all of our actions.
He'll nod. Alright. Sounds good to me.
Request. Follow me. And then he, turns and goes to lead him out.
Oh, you can call me Icewind, by the way.
Greeting. Hello, Icewind. I am Siri.
Good to meet you. Let's see if your the rest of your group is as interesting as this. End of scene for you. All right.
Gone.
Our next, our Solar. What do you want to do for your scene?
I'm going to do the simple thing of going up to the fort, knocking, and saying, first, probably they're going to be hostile.
Mm-hmm.
Second chance approach, spending a moat. I am Guaco, Bastion of the Waves. You have heard of my exploits through the West. Whoever gives up without a fight will not be killed. Anybody else will be able to go and incarnate after the battle.
Okay. Make a roll. You will suffer a -1 penalty to this roll.
Okay. And that's
because you're trying to address multiple people.
Did you say your name was Juan Carlo?
Guaco.
Guaco. Okay.
Bastion of the Waves.
I don't know why, but for some odd reason, my mind translated that as Juan Carlo Esposito, and I'm like, wait, what?
And you also get 2 bonus dice for your stunt dice as well for this.
Okay, so that would be Embassy, Finesse, and Influence.
Mm-hmm.
Apologies, I am back.
Welcome back. With this, you can see that they're trying to ignore you or jeer at you and such, but you can sense the real fear here. Like, you've actually put like the sort of fear of God into them. And it's very likely this is, if fighting breaks out, it's going to cause a major issue for them.
Some soldiers are going to be routing.
Mm-hmm. And John, what are you going to be doing? Because all these scenes are basically happening at the exact same time.
It's Yoon, not John.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I was going to go to the fort and address them and try to kind of draw their attention, but I don't know. It's kind of seems like that has already happened.
I was just going in order of people.
So I guess instead I will go into the village and I will try to draw the mercenaries or pirates or whatever they are, a bunch of evil bastards. I will try to use my unseemly appearance to kind of draw them in and try to regale them with a mighty tale from the ancient times and kind of distract them, lure them into a precarious position where Neves' soldiers can take them out.
Okay. That will be a... So you're going to try to regale them with stories. That would be a performance roll. So that would be probably finesse and performance based on what you were saying.
Can I also use my influence as a great storyteller and sage of Karath?
What influence does that actually give you?
Well, I'm a known philosopher in the western regions.
In the ocean area here? Like, keep in mind that these are huge areas. But up to Kerr there.
I'll let you shake off the -3 penalty that you normally would have. So you can just make your finesse plus performance roll. You won't have the -3 penalty.
That's
2 success, 1 success, 1 success. That will be enough though for this. These guys are not that difficult. And they're pretty bored, honestly. When they're not fucking around with people. They don't really have a lot to do. So yeah, they would be looking for any sort of entertainment they have and would be happy to move out in order to listen to some newbie's tales. Probably someone who just arrived by ship somehow. So yeah, they wouldn't care. Most of them are honestly kind of drunk anyway. So yeah, they would follow you. They would follow listening to the stories, wanting to get some entertainment so they're not quite as bored anymore. And then we move back to Nevis. All right. So this guy is not doing anything. Their leader is really shitty. They're able to overcome all those obstacles for you. All right. Nevis. This guy is just going to get fucking wrecked so hard.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'm just double checking all this real quick to make sure everything is set. So, Nevis, give me a... How are you going to be carrying this out? This feels like a finesse sort of thing that you're doing.
Most of his maneuvers are going to be finesse-based. So basically, his troops are going to be... most of them are Martens like himself. And they will be moving in as stealthily as they can. All of the villages have basic walls, right?
Yes.
Okay, so his soldiers can easily climb over those.
Oh, yes.
So basically, their orders are, first off, not to actually kill people, but to offer them the opportunity to surrender. But otherwise, they are going with a surprise tactic, basically climbing up the walls and dropping in on the other side.
There is
as
actually a
stealthily.
tactic called ambush.
Yeah.
All right, so give me a war plus finesse roll, and you are going to get to add 12 dice to your roll. This poor man.
Now, is this going to... Because I also have War Excellency.
These dice do not count towards the limit because these are specifically with these types of ventures, you get these bonus dice because it's considered like an aid another. And the rules for aid another specifically say that these successes do not count towards the dice limit. Because it's not you doing it. This is Cyril getting together with this guy and recruiting him. This is everything that the other two have done, leading them into bad positions and breaking their morale.
Okay, so we got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 successes.
Would you like to know the dice pool this poor person has? The
Sure.
mercenary captain in charge, he has 5 dice.
And he crits all of them.
Let's see how he does. Four successes. That is not enough. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right.
So, the plan here. Of course, our ship, the Bastion, is being brought around to try and block off their ships. He's got a few soldiers on the ship to, maintain it and such, and be ready to board other ships. Or actually, better yet, they're probably, as soon as a ship gets close, they jump off and swim to the other ships to take them over. And of course, the main parts of his force are infiltrating the village and the fort itself. Nevis is at the lead of the force at the fort, and he is going straight for their leader.
Okay, so because of that, I'm going to allow you to this is going to be an ambush, and you are going to be able to start with 10 power because of that roll that you had. So let me give you guys the combat here, because this is actually, despite this being mass combat and war, this is basically the equivalent of how combat works here. So I have your adorable assassins here open for me, and I have the enemy here. Since this is a surprise ambush, you automatically have initiative. Okay, Nevis.
Okay. Of 10, I guess?
Yeah. Oh, no. So in this game, it's going to be different from now on. Initiative is just going to be...
There is a combat tracker that we could probably make use of for keeping track of all this.
Its combat tracker is not going to be as useful in this game because of the way it works.
There's phases.
Here's the way it works now.
Well, I mean, for at least like keeping track of power instead of initiative, we could use the combat tracker for that.
Oh no, that's on your sheet. It's on your sheet. Power is on your sheet.
Okay.
So here's the way
it works. Visual for the viewers.
Sorry. Here's the way it works here.
Okay.
You normally roll initiative, which I just rolled into the war roll here because what we're starting. And whoever rolls the higher initiative, that person gets to go first, and then they get to choose who goes next. And they can choose anyone they want. You normally start with 0 power. You gain power by attacking, by making withering attacks, or by doing things like setting traps, hiding and preparing an attack. Directing your soldiers can gain power that way. Basically anything in a fight that is either hitting them or setting up something to assist either yourself or your allies. And you do not need to always keep the power. Like if you are looking through your tome and telling everyone that's around you their weaknesses, you can give someone else the power that you roll from the dice. And again, we'll walk through this when we actually do combat again, so don't worry too much. Nevis, your army has a dice pool of 10 for attacks without any charms or anything. Sorry, take that back. You have 13 right now for this attack. So you may make your army's attack against the enemy army. And because this is an ambush, their defense is automatically set to 0. Which means very bad things are about to happen to them.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I was rolling now or what.
Yep, you get a roll now.
You said how many? 13?
13. 13 here. Like I said, your army is scary.
I approve.
Oh god, these poor peoples.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Double checking to make sure you guys they don't have anything special. Okay, 9 to 11. All right, so you can make so now you hit. You may spend up to 10 power to roll that many dice for damage. Plus however many successes you have here, plus your weapon damage. Right now, without spending any power, you are going to be rolling 11 dice. You can roll up to 21 dice to try to roll for damage here.
And I'll be stepping away for a couple minutes.
Okay.
So
I would recommend spending all of your power to make the attack to try to kill them.
But I don't
sorry. You have or to defeat the army, so to speak.
Okay. So
sorry, I take that back. They also have this, so they have a 24.
Okay. I will do 24 dice.
Go for it. Yeah, this is why ambushes are nasty.
There it goes. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3 10s. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll be canceled out. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 successes.
Okay, there we go.
Oh. You want to know how much health they had?
Not 12.
I'm going to guess 13.
Nope.
1.
I'm going to guess 4.
5.
9. So even with their soak, you still do enough damage to both armies to utterly rout them and crush them. Like, one moment they're ready and they're just kind of going about their day. The next, your people are swarming over them and just whacking them over the head or just sweeping their legs out from under them. They're going like full on special forces assassins on these poor guys. And these poor mercenaries don't have a fucking chance. Literally, the entire battle lasts maybe like 5 minutes to incapacitate everybody. And not a single member of your army is injured. Nevis, you hardly even needed to do anything. They were just following your training that you had put them through and basically your orders. You didn't even have to go after the leader. By the time that you got to the room where the guy would be, 4 of your men are already there and basically have bound and trust this guy already.
Well, so much for my plan of, epic speech and everything to get them to surrender. But I'm okay with this outcome.
To be fair, this is just the first battle of the war. You have won this battle with flying colors, but the war will continue.
Well, yeah, but the rest of their armies have no idea that we even exist right now.
Nope, not yet. Yeah, because this is literally, you swept through them so well, so easily, they didn't even have a chance to send out messengers or anyone to escape. This is like the very best case scenario for you right now.
Request. May we hold an execution?
For their leader and his lieutenants, as well as anyone that the villagers can, not just individual reports, but we will hold an execution. The rest will be offered a chance to join the adorable assassins. Or
Furry.
other means of making amends.
Agreement. This seems quite amicable. May I be the executioner?
Icewind is going to speak up. I think I'm going to claim that spot. I can still put use to him after we kill him.
What do you mean?
As he reaches a hand over to his shadow, and you can see small strands of essence come out of his finger into his shadow, and from his shadow he actually draws up a body of one of the mercenaries, or at least they were dressed in the same uniform.
In order to do that, do you have to be the one that executes them?
No, but well, I like to be the one to do it. I think it's not right for me to shy away and push it onto someone else.
This is not you pushing it on someone else. It would be me pushing it onto you. After all, it was my army that primarily subdued them.
I mean, I was going to help.
Correction. I personally volunteered for the service. It has been some time since I have dispatched an individual.
Unfortunately, if I am the one issuing the decree for their execution, I will be the one that delivers it.
He gives a small shrug before letting the body sink down into the shadow again.
He bubbles over, kind of taking in the scene. Trying to understand what happened.
Alright, I don't mind. I'm just glad we got those fuckers out finally. So you have my thanks for that. And I think here is a good spot to end. Because now we can have you guys helping out with the village and getting settled in here. See, we're starting small.
But I want to keep going.
It's already 1 a.m.
So?
I am exhausted. I am
So?
very, very tired.
Check some coffee.
I don't drink coffee.
That has no bearing on the matter of whether or not you can drink coffee.
This is a very good endpoint until next week.
But I want more.
You will have more next week.
Ugh. Fine.
Hey, see, we started small. This is why it's so difficult sometimes starting small, because this is what happens when you put normal mortals against an exalted.
Oh no, I appreciate the fact that we started small.
I know, but I'm making the joke of this is what happens when you put normal mortals in front of an exalted. I was fully expecting you guys to utterly and totally curb stomp these armies. Like, this should be like, even though there's like 300 people here, this should be literally no problem. This is going to be an utter curb stomp to you guys.
DJ Cyber, thank you so much again for that raid. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. But, alright.
I'm going to give each of you on your character sheets, please put down an Exalt milestone, a personal milestone, and a minor milestone, please, on your
These
sheets.
are to spend. This is on the back page down near the bottom. So Exalt, minor, and personal, you said?
Yes.
One of each?
Yes.
All right.
That's 2 spent.
Yeah, you
So,
put it under the 2 spend column.
Yep.
So Exalt, minor, and personal, you said?
Correct.
For this one,
So-
correct me if I'm mistaken, but with Exalted, you do have to devote time to training yourself. You can't just be like, and suddenly I am stronger.
Actually, you can use the stunt bonus to do that.
Oh, okay.
You can use the stunt bonus to immediately whip out a new charm and go, yeah, I am drawing on new power in order to try to save my friends or stop something or do something.
So, how does leveling work in this system then?
Okay, so the important ones for the most part are going to be minor, major, and exalt milestones. When you guys were looking through charms, did you guys see how sometimes you saw a charm that said like you can rebuy this at like Essence 2 in order to do something in some of the charms?
No.
Okay. So some charms can be rebought when you reach a higher level of essence and they give new abilities. Personal milestones are used for that. Minor.
What if we just buy them at that milestone?
Well, you can spend another milestone to do that, but personal milestones can only be spent on those.
I mean,
So that's
what if we just buy them at the
character
bigger
creation.
essence? No. When, like, let's say we're like Essence 3 and we haven't bought something and the something has something that activates when we're Essence 3. If we buy it at Essence 3, does that automatically activate or do we need to throw a
You
personal
have
point
to
into it?
you have to spend a milestone to activate it.
Okay.
Yeah, usually it will say specifically like if an ability activates, you can rebuy it, which is when you have to spend a personal milestone.
Okay.
Minor milestones can be spent to get a ability dot. So you can raise any of your abilities by 1 dot, or you can spend it on a charm. And
Does it
go ahead.
simply gain us an additional charm, or is it a charm that we have to like switch out?
It gives you an additional charm.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Minor milestones are very common to get. Usually you'll get at least one minor milestone every session. Exalt milestones are when you do something cool for your exalt, or when I think you did something really cool, I will hand out an exalt milestone. Exalt milestones can only be used to buy charms of your type. They cannot be used for universal charms. They can only be used for whatever type of exalt you are. So for the solars, you can get any solar charm. For the alchemical, you can get any alchemical charm, and so on and so forth.
So did I get any stunt dice from all that so I can spend these right now, or?
I will let you guys do that. I don't mind that much. You guys are going to have time to spend here. Like, you
Oh,
guys
okay.
could spend a week in town doing all this and then say, hey, we've spent like a month here getting this village up and running as our new little mini base of operations. And during that time, we trained in all this stuff.
Okay.
So there's not a huge timetable on this game. You get, like I said in the opening draft, this could take years or decades before the big bad goes online. Real quick, you guys, a major milestone usually happens like every 2 to 4 sessions, dependingly. Depends on how quick the sessions go and everything. Like my the next session, you guys, if you guys go to immediately like rush over to the next island and clear the big base there, that will be a major milestone because that is basically clearing out the 2 big islands and then kind of figuring out where you want to go from there. If you get a major milestone, you can increase an attribute with it, or you can also use that to get another charm as well. Getting a major milestone also will heal any big damage that your character has taken. So if you've taken like a critical wound, it will get rid of that as well. Major milestones are very good to get.
Okay.
Major milestones can also be used to buy an ability as well, or any charm you want at all. And I decide when you guys go up in essence. Usually, it's when you guys have completed 2 major milestones, you'll go up a dot of essence normally. Depends on how long it takes, though. I might give you after only 1, but we've had like 3 more sessions after that. I might give you another dot of essence, depending on how far you guys have progressed and where your guys have where you guys are basically.
I assume major milestones are used for attributes.
Yes, that is their really big use, is they can be used to raise attributes.
What about raising abilities? Is that minor or?
Minor or major can do that.
Okay. All right. Well.
Also, everyone, to your character sheets, please add ally NA currently to your character sheet under merits.
We don't have the ability to type in NA.
Oh,
Yeah,
just put ally then.
Yeah.
Maybe instead put that down in the notes section, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I assume it's the exigent that we found?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I
The
guess
crab.
we'll keep that a mystery.
It's the crab.
Oh, it's the crab.
It's the crab.
You haven't fully made an ally out of him yet. You started, but you haven't fully done it quite yet.
Oh, hail the crab lord!
Hey, Kurt.
See, I know. Yes. I was doing the crab dance.
I was bouncing back and forth. All right, shall we wrap this up?
I know who this crab is. I know who the crabby is. He's much more than he lets on.
I would like to remind you that it was only a minor ethereal influence.
And I decided, well, I'm doing this now. He is my sweet baby, and I am doing this.
Wostein, you may need to bump up your influence a bit.
Don't worry about it. You have Crab God.
You might need to bump it up a bit.
Hail the crab god.
All right,
I'm not
everyone.
actually going to do anything with him until suitably dramatic, epic moments.
Ah. All right, well, shall we wrap this up then?
Yes.
That's
what's about to happen to me.
Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us for our first episode of Ebon Sails Exalted. I will be back tomorrow with more streaming. We've got curtails earlier in the day, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do after that. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, and more there on the website, as well as down in the description below. Thank you to my patrons, donators, and subscribers. It is because of your support that I'm able to continue bringing these streams to you all. I really cannot do this without your guys' help and support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It is one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by simply sharing the stream around, grabbing some merchandise over at zgfgaming.store, or using our Humble Bundle partner link. But for now, thank you all so much again for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
Duke.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone. Thank you all for coming.
Yeah, see ya next time.
Bye.